I was talking to this lady at the gym today. What I gathered from the conversation was that she didn't know who Jesus Christ is, right? She kept saying something about your ancestors, like telling me that I have ancestors with me and things of that nature. Said about 2 or 3 times. Now I went through the pagan field wearing the Ankh and the African peas and Hotel, Agab, I say, Ankh until I came to the point of Pharaoh and his strongest army being killed by God when he told Moses to split the Red Sea. So that was the end of that, right? Because everybody speaks about that I was came across spoke about Heru, spoke about people and things of that nature. But they never talk about Pharaoh and how he died. Either they want to keep it a secret, or either they want to keep people in the dark so they won't go back to being a Christian. Because they'll tell you about Moors and the war that Moors and Christians has had with each other over the years. So pretty much she was talking about ancestry, things of that nature, doing research, saying some people are scared to research their history because of what they would find. But I was like, but did you get to the root? My aim was to get her to God. Physical body, okay, Old Testament, nothing. God created Adam and Eve. That's the root to the physical body. Now before that, God said, I knew you when I formed you in the womb, right? He's not just the God of Israel, but Gentiles as well. So when it comes to that point, I was trying to get to that point, but she didn't connect with it. So apparently that wasn't the daughter of God. You know what I'm saying? You got God bless people to know it's true. He choose who he wants to know the truth about him. Other people they kept in the dark or given over to a reprobate mind, by falling from grace, like the great apostasy. So she kept saying that. She had tears in her eyes and everything. And I was being patient, trying to wait to a point where I could insert the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But there wasn't a place for it. And she kept saying certain things like to debate it. And she knew. She didn't know what she was talking about. She knew she was on a dead end. You know what I'm saying? But they stay on it, doing all this research of physical people talking about your ancestors are with you. It sounds crazy. Your ancestors are with you, so, okay, how do you explain a person with a halo? Is that an ancestor? How do you explain a person with fire around their head? How do you explain angels walking with people? Maybe 1, 2, 3, a whole platoon. How do you explain that? Those not the ancestors. Dressed in war gear with a sword with fire around it. That's not ancestors. That's not your ancestors fighting for you. Now, if they mean it in an allegorical, subliminal way, and they want us to latch on to it, what do you mean your ancestors? You know what I'm saying? What do you mean? I can't see in the dead realm. I can't see that. They may see it. You know what I'm saying? They may see dead people walking in the spirit realm who passed over 500 years ago. I know when I was a kid, I was able to see in the spirit realm like that. So, but them being to have power, no. How did your ancestors have power when you were still slaves the entire 400 years, from physical bondage to spiritual bondage? They couldn't help you out of that. Okay. They can't help you with the lottery numbers. Okay. They can't help to manipulate papers to get somebody out of jail that's doing life in your family. They can't keep people off drugs. They can't keep people from shooting each other. So what good are your ancestors if they not doing nothing? That's because they're dead. They're being kept until they're either caught up in the rapture, or for judgment day. There is no ancestors helping you. Stop playing. What are you talking about? You sound crazy. You know what I'm saying? You really do. But that's that though, man. You know what I'm saying? The lady was saying that stuff. My skin looking real good, ain't it? I must say. Because you know, healing is the key is food. I was looking at TD Jakes. TD Jakes TD Jakes elimination of grace. TD Jakes elimination of grace. And he was saying that he pointed out a precept, a scripture in the Bible that said that healing is the children's food. People who already have God's grace, heirs, you know. So I'm finna work on trying to, you know, get my relationship right with God, because I thought it was right. It's just healing is part of what's naturally mine. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I prayed for it and put it in God's hand. So now I'm trying to get on earth as it is in heaven. You know, my inheritance, what I have, is in heaven. So he said, on earth as it is in heaven. So if I'm a citizen of heaven, I should have my lifestyle on earth as it is in heaven. The power that's invested in me, you know what I'm saying? And then I can use that for good too. You know, with other believers. And then turn a non-believer to a believer, not because of money, just because I'm able to walk through and have all this time. And I can go recharge up in a different type of environment, in the woods or whatever the case may be, around a large massive body of water, and go out with my fruits fully matured. You know what I'm saying? Through the isolation, and go out and heal people. That's what the power of God is for. You know what I'm saying? And then if the case didn't come where God moved you to give somebody some money, then that's what you do. That's what it's for. You know what I'm saying? You know, like when the lady, the Canaanite lady, I think it was, she asked for her daughter to be healed, and Jesus was like, you know, the children of God is not supposed to be given to the dogs for food, type of thing. He came for the lost tribe of Israel. When Jesus came, he came for the lost tribe of Israel. And then for them to go out preaching to the Romans and the Gentiles. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he was like, man, I didn't come to give the children of God food to the dogs. Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded, but yeah. Cold-blooded, man, but it was most definitely said. But yeah, that's what I came across earlier today. You know what I'm saying? So patience is like one of those things where if I continually talking to her and listening to her, and then with her hearing herself talk, she probably would have caught herself again like, man, wait a minute, that don't even make sense. But some people, you know, have to get to that point where they realize they don't make sense. And then they just so happen to be in front of a person with grace, that bad light, looking right at them like, because she asked me like what the answer was Like she said, what is the root? She said it real quick and slick though. Like, what is the root? But the way she said it was like, I'm not. I'm like, I'm not gonna answer that because she don't want the answer. You're supposed to say, what is the root, and then leave a pause. Don't say, what is the root out of frustration because you know you don't know. That means once I respond to it, you're gonna fight it with some stuff that they taught you when you was a kid. And then she said, I teach my kids the same thing. I'm like, you don't have the answer. You're still searching for the answer. How you gonna teach them? You're teaching them just a bunch of solutions. You gotta have the answer. You can't teach your kids nothing if you don't have no answer, like a math question. Oh well, I was working on doing it like this, and this is what I came up with. So what's the answer? We don't have an answer, just a solution. That's crazy.